devant la cour criminelle du Vaucluse. C'est ouvert ce matin, un procès jamais vu en France.
51 hommes sont accusés au total, âgés de 21 à 68 ans.
Je me souviendrai toujours.
I'll always remember September 2024. We arrived at the court as a unit, my two brothers, myself and my mother, Gisèle Pelicot.
Gisèle Pelicot est la victime des viols de Mazan.
Entre 2011 et 2020, Gisèle était droguée par son mari qui recrutait des hommes pour la violer.
Je m'appelle Caroline
My
Darian.
name is Caroline Darian. I'm the daughter of the victim, but also, which is even harder to bear, the daughter of the perpetrator.
L'histoire de notre
The story of our family is beyond belief, but I never thought it would echo around the world.
El hombre que durante años drogó a su mujer para que otros hombres la violaran. Un caso que tiene conmocionado al país.
The night to France and to the trial shaking much of Europe. A woman taking the stand, testifying today against
de Gisèle Pelicot, que é essa senhora de 71 anos que era dopada pelo marido.
Nor could I imagine that my mother would become an icon.
On écoute Gisèle, on écoute Gisèle, on écoute Gisèle, on écoute Gisèle.
Suddenly, voices rang out across France.
Nous habitons dans ce pays où un corps, le corps d'une épouse, n'est qu'un bien, qu'on offrira à d'autres hommes, un cadeau de choix.
Gisèle Pelicot empêche la société de fermer les yeux sur la culture du viol.
Ces 4 dernières années,
Over the past 4 years, up until the trial, I often felt lonely,
lanceuse
like a whistleblower in a society that refused to listen to victims of drug rape.
pour être violée.
Victims who are now speaking out and sharing their stories.
Who were they? How many? What did they do to me? I'll never know.
My father would go prepare the yogurt. As soon as I started eating it, I'd notice a strange taste.
Drug-facilitated sexual assault is the ultimate expression of male domination.
He's the master. He's saying to me, "You're mine. I own you."
Aujourd'hui,
Thanks to the trial, we've reached a historic turning point.
Historique.
The time has come for a complete change in thinking. Only by working together can we put a stop to drug-facilitated sexual assault.
Ce procès,
We were both hoping for and dreading the trial. In a few minutes, my brothers and I are going to see our father again, and my mother is going to see her ex-husband. He stopped being part of our family 4 years ago.
et le voilà.
And there he is in the dock.
Des accusés. Premier échange
He and
de
I
regard.
make eye contact. An intense moment.
Je ressens de
I
la
feel
honte,
shame,
forcément.
obviously,
Et surtout
but
de la
above
colère
all,
de voir
anger
tout
at
péché.
all the damage he's inflicted.
Nos vies
Our
ont
lives have
basculé.
been turned upside down.
Impossible de
There's
revenir
no
en arrière.
going back.
Tout a
It all
commencé
started on a fall evening in 2020.
le lundi
On
2
Monday, November 2nd, 2020, I was working from home, and at 8:25 my phone rings. It's my mother. She says, "Caroline, sit down. You'll have to be strong and brave because..."
Parce qu'il va falloir que je t'appelle
Because I've
quelque
something
chose de
very
grave.
serious to tell you.
Et là, elle va me dire, écoute,
And then she tells me, listen, I've been at the police station for most of the day,
j'ai appris
and I found out that your father has been drugging me for several years
plusieurs années maintenant
in order to have me raped by other
pour
men.
me faire violer par d'autres hommes. Ce soir-là,
That evening, everything collapsed. Everything we thought was solid.
solide,
Our entire world was turned
tout
upside
s'effondre
down.
en fait. Tous les repères s'effondrent. Le point de départ, c'est que
It began about a month and a half earlier when he was caught filming upskirting videos of 3 women at a supermarket.
Il prend des bonnes prises de vue, votre téléphone. Il était en train de filmer sous votre robe. Si, vous portez plainte. Il était en train de filmer sous votre robe le téléphone comme ça, à l'instant.
Donc il a été interpellé
He was stopped by the security
la
guards.
sécurité du magasin.
Vous êtes un gros dégueulasse, vous, en fait. Ouais, vous êtes un gros dégueulasse. Vous avez de la chance, je vous jure, c'est ma mère, je vous arrache la tête. Allez, police, tu me les appelles maintenant. Madame, je compte sur vous, vous portez plainte.
Et derrière, ils vont.
After that, the police seized his computer, hard drive, several SIM cards, camcorders.
Caméscope, etc. Et en fait,
Then, for a month and a half, they worked on retrieving videos of my mother, in which she was seen totally motionless, being abused by men in the presence of her husband.
En présence de son mari. Sur une seule affaire.
This was a cross-section of French society.
Société française. Les agresseurs de ma mère.
My mother's assailants were 23, 25, 30, 32, and even as old as 70 when the crimes occurred.
Au moment des faits, ils habitent.
Most of them live in the Vaucluse region.
Il y en avait un qui habitait.
One of them lived 2 streets from my parents in
Dans la
Mazan.
commune de Mazan. Ils sont plutôt bien insérés.
They're well integrated in society. Most of them have jobs, sometimes with responsibility.
Ils ont une famille.
They have families. Some have young children.
Des enfants en bas âge.
You'd think butter couldn't melt in their mouths. If there are so many ordinary-looking rapists in such a small area, the number of victims countrywide must be very high. That's what I thought when I started investigating drug-facilitated sexual assault. And heard stories like Zoe's, stories of amnesia.
Can you open your mouth wide like a hippo? Ooh, you have a nice case of tonsillitis. There are germs in your throat. That's why it's sore. Raise your head a bit. I'll feel your throat. I decided to be a GP. Take a deep breath so that I could be close to people's daily lives, their stories. And again, well done. Because it's the only way for me to make sense of a story that makes no sense. Health insurance card, please. Thank you.
C'est là.
It was here. Every time I come here, I remember how steep it is. The only memory I have of the whole thing is this spot. When I woke up, I was lying on the slope against a tree. I always wondered how he got me there. Either I fell, or he threw me and I rolled down the slope, and he left me there. Or they left me there.
J'ai 15 ans, je suis en classe de seconde. Le 21 juin 2006,
I was 15 in the 10th grade. It was June 21st, 2006, World Music Day. There were concerts everywhere. We were at a concert on the Donjon de Nyon. It was packed. I was dancing, drinking a bit, but not a lot. It must have been around 11 at night.
Et puis, il devait être aux alentours de 23h, et là, d'un coup, j'ai...
And I don't remember anything after that.
Aucun.
Nothing.
Ma mère n'a
My mother
jamais
never remembered anything.
rappelé par un quelconque
Never.
souvenir. Jamais.
For the simple reason that it was all orchestrated to go completely unnoticed.
Pour que ça passe totalement inaperçu. Mon géniteur passait par un site de
He
rencontre
used a dating site called coco.fr where he uploaded pictures and videos of my mother to lure accomplices.
ses acolytes.
I'm looking for a pervert accomplice to abuse my wife who's been put to sleep in a two-man rape at my place.
The setup was that they'd park a few hundred meters from the house and then walk the rest of the way.
Wait in the parking lot until she's properly asleep.
Dans la majorité des cas, ils les faisaient se déshabiller.
In most cases, they'd take off their clothes on the doorstep or in the kitchen before going to the bedroom.
Il s'agissait de passer les mains.
They had to rinse their hands in hot water so that they weren't too cold, which might have woken up my mother.
Pendant les actes, lui
He filmed what they did.
dirigeait.
He directed the sex acts.
On sait que
There was no financial reward, never.
Jamais.
Some of the men came back several times. It sometimes lasted over 6 hours.
Mon père, il a
My father drugged her with high doses of anxiolytics and sleeping pills.
dans son verre à son insu.
He crushed them and put them either in her glass or her meal without her knowing.
Et dans le quart d'heure qui suivait.
Within a quarter of an hour, she would lose consciousness. She couldn't feel anything. Because these drugs, which are called benzodiazepines, relax your muscles. So there were no traces of sexual abuse because all the muscles in her body were totally relaxed.
Tous les muscles du corps sont totalement relaxés.
It's exactly the same principle as general anesthesia. The choice of drug is key. Contrary to popular belief, GHB, often called the date rape drug, is rarely involved.
Dans la grande majorité des cas, l'agresseur se
In a great majority of cases, the abuser gets the drugs from the family medicine cabinet. Sleeping pills, anti-anxiety medications, painkillers, anticonvulsants, antihistamines.
ou encore anti-allergiques.
In high doses, these drugs can induce an hours-long blackout.
Ils peuvent provoquer un blackout de plusieurs heures.
I regained consciousness several hours later. The sun was rising. I was in pain. My whole body hurt.
I'm
lying on the ground, covered in twigs and dead leaves. I realize that I'm partially naked. My dress is pushed up to my chest. My bra is unhooked. I'm still wearing it, but it's unhooked and pushed up. And I'm not wearing underpants. I remember that at that moment, all I could think was that I had to find my underpants. So I spend several minutes going up and down the slope, kicking up the leaves. Then I realize where I am. I'm in a park that's about a 10-minute walk from where I last remember being, but it's a far corner of the park. I was terrified. At that moment, I was just a lost child with no underpants. That's how I felt. I tried to get dressed as best as I could, and then completely on autopilot, I went home.
Quand j'arrive chez moi,
when I got there, I was relieved that everyone was still asleep. My first instinct was to take a shower.
je me rends compte que
I realize I have bruises on my inner thighs.
j'ai des
I have scratches on my forearms and elbows. I have bruises on my ribs.
Sur les côtes. Sur les ecchymoses de mes cuisses.
Instinctively, I start rubbing the bruises on my thighs.
Et je me revois.
I remember rubbing them over and over and over again.
Et encore. J'ai tellement
so hard that I scraped my skin off.
Que je me suis arraché la peau.
I was in the shower for so long that I emptied the hot water tank. And I carried on showering in cold water. After a while, I can hear everyone getting up, so I run to my bedroom. I hear my parents complaining that there's no hot water left. My mother sticks her head round my bedroom door and I pretend to be sleeping.
My mother was not able to realize, to understand. Around 2015, I started noticing that she was very tired. We began to worry about her behavior. I would call her on the phone and she couldn't remember talking to me a few hours earlier. We thought she might be showing early signs of Alzheimer's. My mother is an extraordinary survivor. Not only could her heart have given out at any moment due to all the drugs, on top of that, on several occasions, she narrowly avoided what could have been fatal accidents.
In medical school, I had virtually no training about drug-facilitated sexual assault. I know nothing about it. That's something I'm going to have to keep in mind when I see patients with unusual symptoms like memory loss or sleep disorders.
The issue of drug-facilitated sexual assault presents a challenge. It's a relatively new phenomenon that forces all of us professionals to step outside of our comfort zone. It's easy to overlook a victim. If we have a victim with no memory who says, "I feel sleepy 20 minutes after dinner," she's describing a symptom. She feels that what she's experiencing isn't normal, and it's then our task to dig further. That's where we really need the help of all of you GPs and psychiatrists. Thank you very much.
Now I'm giving the floor to Caroline.
I'm a little emotional because this is actually the first time I've spoken to healthcare professionals. You play a vital role in supporting victims. You have the potential to save lives. My mother lost 10 kilos in 8 years. 10 kilos. We couldn't understand why. She had speech disorders. She was seeing gynecologists, she was seeing GPs. She also saw neurologists and other specialists. And not a single one of them ever realized what my mother was going through. That is a tragedy.
Hello.
Hello.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Zoe. I'd like to tell you a bit about myself.
You're the doctor.
That's right, exactly.
I'm glad you came today.
Of course. So it also happened to me.
I didn't know that.
So that's why I was so moved by your story, also as a doctor. Because I thought, If a woman came to see me as a doctor, accompanied by her husband,
Right. Most of the time, I didn't mention it, but whenever she saw a doctor, of course, he was with her. That's also a psychological control tactic. As far as doctors are concerned, I mean, as long as there's no proper training, things won't change. Over the past 2 years, I've heard about many cases like my mother's. It's not an isolated case.
Let's go, everyone.
The fight goes on.
The fight must go on. Thank you.
You're welcome. And good luck.
No one knows how many victims of drug-facilitated sexual assault there are in France. Many never file a complaint because they feel shame or maybe don't remember anything. You only need to look at newspapers over the past 30 years to realize this is a massive, even systemic phenomenon. The basketball player was drugged with lorazepam and gang-raped. He drugs his wife with a pie to see her naked. He secretly drugged his girlfriend by sprinkling MDMA on a waffle. Up until now, no one thought to link these incidents. The very term drug-facilitated sexual assault wasn't widely used. Raising awareness is crucial. That's why I've created the association M'en donne pas, Don't Put Me to Sleep. I've received hundreds of testimonies. I found out that not all survivors are put to sleep with drugs. Some remain conscious but paralyzed. A waking nightmare that Rénal experienced.
Everything I do with love.
Tiens, regarde.
In a way, it helps me heal, because I came face to face with the dark side of man.
Je l'ai vu de très près. Et voilà.
Parfait.
It's poisoned my nights. It poisoned my days. That part of my life is poisoned. I was 17 when I realized I'm attracted to men. It's complicated. I come from Sarthe, a rural region where, well, it's very difficult when you're gay.
L'homosexualité, c'est très compliqué. Donc je me cache.
So I hid.
Dans les années 80,
in the 1990s, the only way to meet people like me was by going to gay hangouts.
Les établissements gays. Et dans la boîte de nuit.
At the nightclub I used to go to with my friends, there was this man, about 45. He was constantly hitting on me, saying he liked me.
Régulièrement, me fait du rentre-dedans, me disant que je lui plais. Et en fait, à chaque fois, je lui disais,
I'd always say, forget it, I'm too fast for you. You'll never catch me.
Jamais t'arriveras à me rattraper. Et un soir,
then one night, we were talking and he says, okay, fine, I get it. I'm never going to go out with you. I give up. I'm going to move on. Let's be friends.
Passe à autre chose.
And then he offers to buy me a drink. So I have that fateful Malibu pineapple.
Je prends ce fameux Malibu ananas.
After about 15 to 20 minutes, my body turns to jelly. I'm not feeling well. And he says to me, come on, I'll take you outside so you can get some fresh air. And he takes me to his place. And in a couple of minutes, I'm naked.
2 minutes.
I'm completely trapped inside my body. I can feel and see everything. And for what seems an eternity, I'm subjected to sexual violence. That's what he inflicts on me. I'm unable to say or do anything. I'm screaming on the inside, but nothing is coming out. I just wanted to stop. He's in charge, he keeps saying to me. I own you. You're mine. He's the master. See? I told you I'd have you. That's what I endured for hours and hours. Until my body started reacting again. He was asleep. It was about 8:30 or 9 in the morning, and I ran. Three weeks after I was abused, I needed to wipe out the memory. And the only way for me to do that was by putting an end to my life.
D'arrêter de vivre. Et j'ai pris des médicaments.
So I took pills with alcohol. I threw up. My body refused to die.
Mon corps qui n'a pas voulu mourir.
Then I thought, I need to talk to someone about it. But who? My mother?
Ma mère? Pas possible.
No way.
Ma sœur?
My sister?
Pas possible.
No way. Because to me, I was to blame for accepting that drink.
Oui, j'ai accepté ce verre. J'ai rien fait.
But I did nothing wrong. I know that now. I am not the one to blame. Not me. I was 17.
J'avais 17 ans,
All I wanted was to have a good time.
Une envie, c'était de faire la fête.
To enjoy life. That's all.
I never wanted to talk to my parents about it. Because I was ashamed. Because it was so bad. And I didn't want to cause them any pain. Then about a year ago, I took the plunge and told my mum. That morning, I just didn't want you and Dad to see me. I went back to bed, and you told me I'd used up all the hot water.
Oh, you remember that. I don't remember it at all.
Because it was so normal, I guess.
Is it normal to use up all the hot water at 6 in the morning? Now that I think about it, maybe not. I'm not sure.
Honestly, I don't think you could have noticed anything.
You had to deal with it all by yourself.
I think not talking about it was very painful. But I'm not sure it would have been good for me to talk about it. I might have become known at school as the girl who got raped on World Music Day. I might have been told I shouldn't have been out drinking with friends at 15.
Plus, in your case, the perpetrator was never identified.
First of all, how are you?
I'm fine, but I'm afraid of what's about to happen. So...
It's very normal to be upset when there's so much churning around in your head, and you've never attended a trial.
That's true.
You don't know how things will unfold. Some videos will probably be shown. Videos of your mother. They're in the file. The magistrate has seen them, and he's been very clear. If those videos have to be shown, they will be, because it's important for the arguments. Some defendants may deny that it's them in the video.
Vous avez l'accusé qui va vous dire « c'est pas moi qu'on voit ».
Others will say they thought she was pretending to be asleep.
En fait, j'étais persuadé qu'elle simulait l'endormissement.
Really? Let's look at those videos, shall we? Let's look at them.
Ouais.
Donc,
ce qui est sûr, c'est que...
One thing is for sure, you shouldn't feel ashamed. If anyone should be ashamed, it's the people who made those videos. And you shouldn't let yourself be silenced, as is often the case with victims.
C'est souvent le cas des victimes.
Moi, j'ai vu.
I have seen most of the photos taken from the videos.
C'est à vomir.
They're sickening.
Mais
But fortunately for us, we have those 20,000 videos and photographs in my mother's file. Because without them, there would be no tangible evidence that my mother was drugged and raped for 10 years.
My hair means a lot to me. Even when I was little, I wanted to have really long hair. But I would never have imagined my hair would reveal so much. I was 15, in high school, in 10th grade. The sexual abuse had begun when I was 9 years old. Whenever my mother was at work, my father abused me. After my parents split up, I'd stay at his place on the weekends. He made me take naps, so-called naps. In the holidays, there was also an evening cuddle, every day. Before going to bed, I always had the same fruit-flavored yogurt. My father would go prepare the yogurt. When he brought it to me, there'd be a spoon in it. The top was removed, and I could see it had been stirred. And as soon as I started eating it, I'd notice a strange taste.
Dès que je le mangeais, il avait un goût très bizarre.
De ce que j'ai compris, from what I understood, Lil Wen regularly said no.
Et c'était des heures de
Then there were long negotiations to make her feel guilty. I think it was just easy for him to give her a pill to sleep.
Pour qu'elle dorme.
My hair sample was collected at a specialized laboratory.
Lil Wen wasn't allowed to blow dry or straighten her hair because of the heat. No hair dye, and most importantly, no medicines, so the molecule he was giving her could be identified. Three months after Lil Wen's hair sample was taken, I learned that high concentrations of doxylamine had been found in the sample.
C'est un somnifère assez puissant.
A sleeping drug that can easily be bought over the counter, and one that's forbidden for children under the age of 15.
C'est un médicament qui est interdit aux enfants de moins de 15 ans. Ma fille avait des cheveux.
My daughter had long hair, which meant the lab could trace the drug back as far as 2018, when Lil Wen was 9. Over the years, the doses rose sharply until 2021, when the abuse was revealed.
très fortement jusqu'en 2021.
And all the periods when the doses reached peak levels match up with weekends and school holidays.
Des périodes où il y a des vacances scolaires en fait. On est sur des dosages.
We're talking about doses that are off the charts.
Mais
But we finally had some evidence that supported Lil Wen's statements. Up until then, we only had her word.
I'm lucky to still have childhood friends from more than 30 years ago. We met when we were around 12 or 13. Inga, Carole and Marion are like family.
C'est ma famille de cœur.
I remember going to your place all through our teens and watching films on the green couch with your dad.
He used to walk you to school. My father never walked me to school. I thought that was really cool.
I think my first reaction was, it can't be true. How could he possibly have done something like that? It's mind-boggling.
C'est stratosphérique, quoi. My father was my daddy. He was a very loving father. My parents were young when they met. They were 18. I always believed my father was very much in love with my mother, and my mother devoted 50 years of her life to him and their 3 children. We looked like the perfect family.
Comme la famille idéale, quoi. Durant ce procès, j'ai peur.
My fear with the trial
réussir
is that I won't be able to hate him. That's what I'm afraid of.
No one expects that of you.
Whatever anyone says, I mean, he's your father. He brought you up. He's your brother's father. You may be able to hate him, but if you're not, that's all right.
That's what I've told you. You can't control your feelings.
There's still a very long way to go. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Love you very much.
Être la fille
Being the daughter of a torturer, a sexual pervert, a sexual predator. To me, nothing can be worse than that.
Pour moi, il n'y a pas pire.
A man who drugs a woman to abuse her clearly has a desire for total and absolute domination.
Total et absolu. Là, on parle pas.
We're not talking about sex drive or a need for affection. I think it's someone who takes pleasure in putting someone under his control and using them.
C'est quelqu'un qui...
Looking back, I realize now that he couldn't bear to hear no. And the only way for him to not hear no was to drug me.
C'est la drogue.
On the first day of the trial, everyone's heart is racing. My mother, my 2 brothers, and my sister-in-law are there. My childhood friends are there too. We're determined, and above all, we're there to support my mother. When I see my father in the dock, I want him to know that he can never manipulate me again, because I know who he is and what he did.
Parce que je sais qui il est et ce qu'il a fait.
Then it dawns on me that we're in a courtroom,
On se retrouve dans un tribunal
just a meter away from my mother's abusers.
des agresseurs de maman.
And those men are totally at ease. They look us up and down, they're defiant, they despise her. My mother doesn't look down. She looks them in the eye, she doesn't flinch. It's clear that we're facing people who haven't grasped the gravity of the crimes they've committed. Extracts from the hearings. Romain, 58, unemployed. She was his wife. He can do whatever he wants to his wife. Patrice, 51, electrician. It wasn't rape because it was her husband who proposed it. Christian, 52, fireman. I knew she was unconscious, and that excited me. To top it all, it excites them. Great. Amazing sex education. But it speaks for itself about the disease in our society. It reveals that a woman has no value. And to most of those men, she's just a sex object, a thing they can use and throw away for their own personal pleasure. In those two photos, I'm motionless. The duvet is pulled up. They're close-ups of my behind. One of the photos was taken in my home, in my bedroom. I don't know where the other was taken. I don't know where I am. Was there touching? Was it something worse?
Who took those photos?
Not me. I'm not even convinced they're photos of my daughter.
Why did you drug her?
Why are you saying that when there's no evidence?
Did you rape her?
Caroline, I've never raped you. I've never drugged you. That's impossible. I've never done that to you.
You're lying. I really had to leave the room because it was unbearable. He sticks to his version because he's intellectually and psychologically incapable of admitting the facts.
Oh, great. It needs simplifying. An historic trial is currently taking place in Avignon. I think we need to simplify that.
I first heard about Sandrine's story from my mother. She called me one evening and said, "Turn on the TV, there's an MP talking about drug-facilitated sexual assault." So I heard Sandrine Jossau's testimony.
This is what happened to me. To celebrate the re-election of this senator, whom I've known for 10 years, I went over to his house as a friend. He was in the kitchen. He poured me a glass of champagne. And after about 15 minutes, I started having symptoms like palpitations and sweating.
Of course, I related to it immediately. I think she's extremely brave. At last, here's a politician, an MP, who's been through it too. Sandrine was lucky that he wasn't able to carry out his plan, but he still drugged her. My mother said, "You must contact her. The two of you must work together." That's how our collaboration began.
Oh, my Caroline, I didn't get much sleep last night. I managed to raise the issue with the government.
Well, take your time. You'll make a really powerful speech. My mother will be watching you. I will be watching. All the survivors who are looked after by the association will be watching, because I published a post this morning.
Okay, I'll rehearse my speech and we'll go over everything in detail. We're doing it. You can count on me, Caroline.
Sending you lots of positive energy.
Merci. Thank you.
Lots of love.
Lots of love to you. Let's go over it again. Hard to find the words.
Over to you, Madame Josso.
Thank you, Madam Speaker of the National Assembly, Mr. Prime Minister, dear colleagues. To finally put an end to this crime, which devastates and destroys the lives of thousands of French women and men. Our objective is to help identify and detect cases of drug-facilitated sexual assault to improve care for victims. We must act now. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
This mission is a first step, but it's not enough. Policies are still lagging behind. It seems that rape culture, this form of crime inflicted by someone close to you, isn't as shocking as crime on the streets. This historic trial calls for a historic political response.
Today, I'm more or less a normal teenager. I say more or less because I still suffer some after effects. For example, with boys. I'm suspicious of every boy I see. They're like the bad guys in a horror movie. I'm always afraid. If one just brushes against me, I'm scared. If one gets close to me, I'm scared. I'm scared of them all.
Today, 30 years after that rape, I feel healed.
Come on, come here. Jump. Good.
17 years ago, I was lucky to meet the man who would become my husband. David taught me to trust people again.
Is this edible or medicinal?
Borage.
What's it for?
Eczema.
I don't have eczema.
I do.
It
was poison for me not to talk about it. Now I talk about it openly, because it can help, and it allows me to close the book, put it back on the bookshelf, and it's over.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zoe. I'm a GP and a feminist activist. I've made sense of what happened by becoming an activist, both at work and in my private life. And I also make podcasts. Today we're going to talk about drug-facilitated sexual assault. I do it for myself, for my daughters, and anyone who might be experiencing it.
Justice pour Gisèle et pour Caroline! Justice pour Gisèle et pour Caroline! Justice pour Gisèle et pour Caroline!
Les accusés qui comparaissent libres, eux, sont arrivés ce matin avec un sac à la main car ils savent qu'ils risquent de partir en prison à peine le verdict énoncé.
Écartez-vous, s'il vous plaît. On va essayer. Allez, on se prend. Le micro en bas, s'il vous plaît. Le micro en bas, s'il vous plaît.
C'est avec une profonde émotion.
It is with deep emotion that I speak to you today. This trial has been a very tough ordeal, and right now, my thoughts are first and foremost with my 3 children, David, Caroline, and Florian. My thoughts are also with the unacknowledged victims whose stories often remain in the shadows. I want you to know that we share the same fight. Thank you.
Madame Pelicot, are you pleased with the sentences?
I respect the judge's decision and the verdict.
Merci, madame. Merci. On va la justice. On va la justice. On va la justice.
I'm very disappointed. The sentences handed down are miles off the mark. There's still a long way to go for survivors of drug-facilitated sexual assault in France.
Ainsi Gisèle, Gisèle pour toutes celles qui subissent chaque jour leur violence. Via ce procès, décida d'exposer ces grands pères de famille que la honte change de camp. Ainsi Gisèle, Gisèle pour toutes celles qui subissent chaque jour leur violence. Via ce procès, décida d'exposer ces grands pères de famille et leurs immondes manigances. Combien d'hommes ordinaires et protégés par leurs frères, combien d'hommes ordinaires et protégés par leurs frères mériteraient de se trouver sur le banc des accusés, mériteraient de se trouver sur le banc des accusés. Face à eux, vivantes et fières, toutes nos sœurs en colère. Face à eux, vivantes et fières, toutes nos sœurs en colère. Décideraient qu'il est bien temps que la honte